I wonder if you can believe that everything is happening and it's all very good. I know that my most external self does not believe that. It sounds like a bunch of hooey, spiritual mumbo jumbo, disconnected from the reality of suffering and pain in this world. I often wake up with a sense of longing for an easier, more carefree time that I imagine I may have experienced in the past. Feeling the drudgery of life, the struggle, the work of raising children, of relationships, of marriage, of keeping a house clean and caring for the plants growing in my yard. The work of being involved in our political systems and paying taxes and finding a way to have some sense of safety and security. All of that work has it's become nearly impossible to succeed at. If you're succeeding at all of that work, please let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Tell me how you make it work. My belief is the only ones among us who are making any of this work are those who have been able to lay down, see themselves as separate from this crazy network of responsibility and requirements to be a human on this planet. My sense is that the only ones among us who are figuring this out are the ones who have realized that the rules shouted at us from many directions about how this is all supposed to work are mostly a lot of noise. My sense is the only ones among us that are finding their way through this material life are those who are finally kind of getting a sense of who they are, of where they stand, of what this life is that brought them into being to live on this planet in the first place. And then from that sense of inner security, of groundedness, that place where we recognize that we are, yes, there's all of these words and paperwork and all of these passwords and things that we have to do to live in this material plane. And it all actually kind of adds up to next to nothing compared to this grounded experience in our bodies where actual wisdom comes from. Can you feel that truth? It's so liberating. This is the place I want to build church from. This place of inner confidence and knowing that we are loved, that we have love to give, that we belong on this planet. This is where life feels good. In any place where we have touched this truth, felt it in our bones, any teaching or teacher or substance or practice or idol or anything from this material world that points us to this place of belonging, is a gift and can be a curse, an obstacle, if we begin to believe that it was that thing that got us here, and that we must always have that thing, and we must tell all our friends that they must have this thing, and then we become obsessed with this thing. And in that obsession, may very well lose connection to that deeper truth of our oneness. Because the truth is, this experience of oneness is not contingent on any one external thing. There are a million portals throughout our material life that can drop us into this place. And as I've been discovering this place, I can see kind of echoes of it throughout my life. Relationships, parties, experiences of learning, time with nature, time with loved ones, times of play and ease and curiosity and exploration, times of wonder, of sexuality, of excitement, pleasure, and pain, loss. I can see how each of those moments, each of those experiences was a portal that dropped me into that place of inner connection, that place where I know that I am loved, that I have love to offer, and that I belong. And the way I've been living my life these last 20 years, 25 years, in many ways has been chasing an experience of belonging that I had as a 14-year-old girl in the Swedenborgian Church Youth League, where for a couple of days at a time, I had almost ecstatic experiences of being loved, of knowing that I have the ability to love others and that I belong. That's why I'm a minister now. I believed that the church was a place where we could practice that love together, we could share that love together. And in my experience, it has been in incredible ways. But not in all ways. There have been limits to it. And I've watched as our denomination has quickly dwindled and shrunk. Even as new people have popped on the scene or new initiatives have struggled to come into being, that overall, many of the humans who I have loved and who have loved me and who have given me that sense of belonging over the years have just gone into other arenas, other communities. Many of them have really just preferred a life of solitude. But for whatever reason, the structures that exist right now, the sense of who we are, it's missing something. It's not nurturing that freedom that I want to live in. And so I am on a mission to pave a new path that I am committed to living in from the ground of my own being, my own sense of being loved, of being able to love, and of belonging. My sense that it is here where God resides, my sense that I have wisdom to bring, and that wisdom comes through my ability to just be in this loving space inside. And I want to be in this loving space inside with other people. And then I want to see what we might do. And I hope and I pray that it is not just one thing. I hope it is so many things. I hope it is things that we can't even quite imagine yet. But someone among us has a taste of it and could lead us there. To new creations, new occasions of connection and community, new ways of honoring the fact that we all belong, of helping children and youth and adults feel that sense of being loved, of being able to offer that love, and of belonging. That's what we need. That's what I need. Let me refrain. That's what I need. That's it. And the funny part is, I know some of you may be feeling like I'm stepping outside of the bounds of the Swedenborgian Church. What about the truth? What about the books? What about the theology? I love all those things. So I know for myself, to be a part of a community where I can know that I'm loved and express love and belong, that part of that will be me living into all of those truths. Baptizing and sharing in the Holy Supper, discussing the intricacies of the correspondences of the days of creation, imagining into being this new Jerusalem that Swedenborg proclaimed. I want to do all those things. I want to get into the nitty-gritty of this beautiful and, I'm just going to say beautiful theology. But I want to get into it from this place with you. So the funny, interesting, strange, beautiful thing about this moment is that what I'm trying to create doesn't have to look like rooms full of Swedenborg's Green 30. It doesn't have to look like church steeples and pews. It doesn't have to look like one particular external form. And it will include more of that form the more Swedenborgians wish to be involved, wish to be willing to prioritize this place of acceptance and belonging and listening and honoring of diverse perspectives. So, I would love it if you joined me. We can nerd out on Swedenborg for the rest of eternity from this grounding place. And how much will that understanding expand and grow as we live in conversation with whoever else might show up? Anyone is welcome. Everyone is welcome. Who is ready to recognize their connection to the whole, honor that they have a channel of wisdom that is guiding them to be grounded in this place of love and presence and acceptance, who wants to be with others in that place and create a new world. Be honest about our dreams and our hopes, the healing that we might have to offer. And then not just be together and not just talk about what's true, but then to live it, to manifest it, to bring it into being, do things together, to be of use to one another and this planet home that we share. That's the vision of the Helen Keller Spiritual Life Collaborative. To follow her path of living a new church life that was expressed in myriad ways, perfectly, imperfectly, powerfully, expansively. Life is a daring adventure or nothing. What would it take for you to trust that everything you need is already here in that experience of being in a state of loving acceptance of yourself, of others, of this moment, that sense of belonging, and that sense of trusting that you have some love to bring? That being in this place is so good. It can be hard to get here. Sometimes it requires lots of tears. Sometimes it requires facing lots of pain. But I believe it's there. We can all get there. And it's worth it.